People of the internet, how you doing? Hope you're well. I'm good. As you can hear, Woody is also good. The annoying furry twat will probably be joining us for most of the show, purring and headbutting the microphone. If there's any anomalies on the audio, it'll be him. Today, on Total Cult Zone Presents, Captain J returns and we'll be hearing his thoughts on Children of the Pines. And that's the cat's gone. That was his butt hitting the microphone, by the way. Fuck's sake.
Is this your first time seeking guidance? What's her name?
Riley. She hasn't really been home in a long time. She's coming home soon.
Mom said you have kids living with you?
Who are these kids?
Hello, Captain J. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm all right. It's a sort of cold autumn, wet morning. It's all right. It's quite nice.
Yeah, lots of rain on the window and lots of internet cutting out. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Technology allowing. We'll see how we get on.
Yeah. So today's film we'll be eventually talking about is called Children of the Pines. And I can tell from the message you sent me the other day that you're just chomping at the bit to talk about how much you enjoyed it. The question in that message was, the fuck did you make me watch?
Yes.
Well, I picked this one out for you because one of the review quotes they slapped on a poster from a Love Horror website was reminiscent of early Stephen King. And although you're a reader,
I am.
You're one of them readers, weirdos.
Yeah, I'm also one of the people that says that Stephen King can be a bit fucking verbose at times.
Yeah. Got a favourite King story?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, Desperation's really good.
I think I've read that
The
one.
Stand. Rose Madder's another really good one. That one about the JFK assassination ain't bad. But also he's done the Tommyknockers. Which is, that took me 6 months to get through that.
All
that was a
one
hard
sitting,
read.
Were you like flicking between books at the time?
Yeah, I was concentrating on Tommyknockers, but I could only get about 2 pages in at a time without my eyes glazing over. It's just very, very long and poor. Look, he goes on. He can be an amazing writer, and he's got great concepts. But he'll spend 27 pages on a character that then never appears again, and you don't really know why they were in it at all. And then they're just gone, and they had no relevance to the story.
Yeah, Tommyknockers also has an unfortunate name. I'm just imagining, like, character-wise, Tommyknockers is a guy that looks like someone we know with boobs.
What, Tommy Knockers? So his first name Tommy, last name Knockers.
Tommy with knockers. Just the guy wakes up in the morning with boobs that want to do bad things somehow, like make him do bad stuff. Maybe is that a King story?
Good movie.
Yeah, he's apparently had like if you count for all his shorts and screenplays, over 200 stories. Stephen King now, I think 64 books overall, just quite a few. He's also a big advocate in helping out young artists. Like there's so many of these things are being made into film because he charges a minimal price for it. That's why you got Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, Lawnmower Man, and The Shining. You know, top end of stuff, especially Lawnmower Man, amazing film.
That is. I mean, Pierce Brosnan's in it.
Yeah, can't be too bad.
That's all I've got to say about that.
What's your favourite adaptation then?
Oh,
again, he's had a few.
So, I mean, it's hard not to say, like, The Shining has to be up there, even though he hates that adaptation.
The Shining, yes.
The Shining, the Kubrick Shining is pretty great, to be fair. Salem's Lot's another good one.
Have they got a new one out?
Yes, yeah, they've done about 2 or 3 of them, I think.
I did see a friend review that this morning, gave it one star out of five. So
Yeah, I'm going with the original. Also, is it In the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill? That's a pretty good one too. Oh, Dead Zone, another one.
oh, yeah, good one. The Mist.
Yes, the original or the TV adaptation from like 15, 20 years ago.
The film with
Yeah,
what's his face in
but
it.
if it's the one with the worst bomber ending ever, that yeah.
What do you mean bummer ending? It's amazing. I
Oh, it's a
laughed.
great
I
ending.
laughed.
I don't want to give anything away, but it's a motherfucker of an ending.
I think that's my favorite actually. But yeah, he's had a load. So in terms of standing up to being early king,
Hmm.
just one word, maybe a facial expression.
Uh,
That'll
one
do.
word,
Right.
bollocks. I
Okay, to
mean,
the press
it's
release.
similar to Early King in as much as it's got words in it,
Yeah, it's got
and it's
many
a
words.
film.
Got many words.
Too many words, I'd argue.
Let's get to the press release before we spoilers. Okay, winner of Best Feature are Ice CineFest, Best Thriller at Indo-French Film Festival, as well as an Audience Award at Gasparilla International Film Festival. Children of the Pines is a directorial debut from director and screenwriter Joshua Morgan. The film also features a standout original score from Sune Rose Wagner, brackets the Raveonettes, who also composed the score for the 2015 Oscar-nominated movie A War. On a winter break, Riley, a college junior, is persuaded by her estranged parents, Kathy and John, to visit home to fix their fractured relationship. As Riley settles in, she discovers that her parents have developed an unsettling friendship with her high school ex, Gordon, and that mysterious children are now living in the house. A series of disturbing flashbacks reveal Kathy and John's time at an eerie, unconventional couples therapy retreat that promised to heal their problems through supernatural means. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's wordy.
Yeah, it pretty much describes this fucking film.
As the day progresses, Riley starts to uncover the dark and twisted truth of her parents' desperate attempts to mend the deep issues plaguing their family. So, at what point did you send me the WhatsApp message?
Oh, I finished watching the whole thing.
You
I
watched the whole
did do it
thing,
that justice.
and then you sent it.
Yeah, immediately as the end credits were rolling, furiously.
I was going to ask if it was for the first or second scene, which take up the first third of the film.
So my first take on it, like that first half an hour, I'd say, it felt like watching kind of a soapy Hallmark kind of movie.
Does have that look about it.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like it looks fairly low budget, which is fair enough. It's obviously set in like it looks like Canada or New England. It's very nice scenery, which is probably where they get the it feels like an early Stephen King because that's kind of as far as it goes with the Kingism. It's set in a woods,
A bit
sort
Castle
of, but not
Rocky.
really. Yeah, kind of Castle Rocky. Um, that first bit was kind of okay. Are they? Is it therapy or is it a cult?
Did someone die? Did someone get married or something? 'Cause it doesn't actually tell you, and you kind of go, "Oh, is it this? Is it this?" And you think, did they
Yeah,
mention it before? I missed it, maybe. So it's very
and the
vague.
whole movie is set up with like a 5 minute um, monologue from the main character, basically just explaining everything. They're very much of the tell don't show variety of filmmaker. Like it feels much more like a play to me. This would work much better on as a stage play than a film.
That's pretty much what I wrote here. It feels like
Yeah,
a
it
play.
really does have that feel.
Yeah, and visually it's so flat. It doesn't help. Like you say, it's the hallmarky basic two shots shot very flat, with the only difference being like the depth of field of the camera sort of changing occasionally and being a bit blurry and soft focusy. But otherwise, it's just two people sitting around outside, sitting around inside.
Okay.
But yeah, it does feel like a play. It's like two people talking on a set,
Yeah.
and then 15 minutes later you get another set with two people talking, and I'm just willing it to move along. I'm kind of interested. Like the first bit is interesting. It's a bit creepy with the old lady.
Hmm.
That's just my fear of old ladies.
Now she did do like the kind of obligatory creepy old lady face as well, like the weird, slightly manic smiles and like honestly, the performance wise, I thought she was very good as far as it went, and I thought the husband John was good as far as it went, but they didn't really explain much about him. I still don't know if he was a shit dad or not
Yeah,
because it's sort of hinted at, but not really.
yeah, they say like the fractured relationship, and they have a bit at the start where it's someone hunting for people and they're hiding. I
Yeah,
couldn't remember if that was actually the kid when they were young and the mum, whether that's an unrelated event.
I still don't know, and I'm not willing to go back. Honestly,
Yeah, it leaves you guessing, and I kind of like that in films, but then it doesn't explain enough, and it doesn't do it quickly enough or exciting enough. So yeah, the
the
uncomfortable
other
bits with
thing,
the parents
yeah,
never fully explained. Was he a drunk, abusive father? Was he off touching them and stuff like that? And
or
the
was he
problem,
just distant? Yeah, it was never very clear.
the problem is that why is she going back if he was so bad?
Exactly.
I know people have this thing with families, like, oh, you got to get along with your family. Me mentally, I'm like, no, I've disowned mine for less.
Hmm. Yeah, but no, I'm much the same. But I think another drawback of this for me, and maybe it's just me, I don't think a single one of the characters was redeeming. They all kind of arseholes. Like there wasn't one likable character amongst them, like including Riley, who is I guess you're supposed to feel for. She just comes across as yeah, kind of a whiny fuck. Quite honestly.
Yeah, I lose kind of sympathy a little bit where it's I lose all sympathy really when it's she's introduced to the two children in the house and you go, oh, why
Hmm.
aren't you leaving straight away and calling Child Protective Services because your parents are not fit for this? And why there's suddenly two kids in the house? Did you adopt them? They're being fostered? Oh no, we just got them. But yeah, they explain what it is, and then you're like, well, why aren't you leaving now? Why aren't you going? Oh, I've got some stuff in the car. I brought it from. Yeah, it's something for you in the car. It's in the car though. I need to go outside to the car and then
Yeah,
driving
and if you
very
hear the
fast
engine
away.
start, yeah,
Yeah,
if you hear the engine start, that's normal. Don't worry. Just
is
give
that
me like a 10 to 15 minute lead.
the Simpsons where they do the thing where he leaves the house and you hear the car driving off and he leaves. You drive away very far away, then don't leave forward an address, burn every bridge, don't get in touch with him ever again. Just send the police around to the house.
Mm.
Whatever happens, happens. It's like, no, that's someone else's problem now. See you later.
Yeah,
But again, that's me. That's me being smart and
I
not.
mean, there's red flags all over the whole thing, to be fair.
It
Like the
does sort
fact that the ex-boyfriend knows she's coming back and basically sort of lives with the parents of the ex now as well. It's kind of weird.
of calls them mum and dad.
Calls them mum and dad, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one thing I actually agreed with like Riley on. It's like, yeah, that's weird. Also, you're an asshole. I don't think there's any. I don't think there are any winners in this situation.
yeah. It's obvious from the get go. It's a bit colty
Yeah,
because you don't get the full explanation of why they're at the meeting at the start. It's like, okay, it's going to be a bit colty, and as it goes along, it's like, yep, definite cult. And I like a bit of cult action. My specialty.
yeah. Well, at first you think, oh, this could be a bit Rosemary's Baby-ish. It's got like kind of obviously hints at that. Um, Although my wife slightly ruined it when they were doing the ceremony with the robes and masks, and my wife just went prawn toast, which is a reference to the League of Gentlemen, and I kind of lost it at that point. I was out, if I'm honest.
It does have that feeling, and then that Riley doesn't actually interact with the cult members at all, apart from the
No,
parents.
no, yes, yeah, it
Well,
feels very disjointed. They explain a lot with the flashbacks, and it seems to be maybe the cult doesn't exist now because of something else that happens later in the movie, but maybe not because it's not very clear.
yeah, we might attempt a 2 minute spoiler, so I don't know how far we'll get with that. But yeah, I'm guessing we can yeah, have we done everything? Really?
I think there was a good, so I think there was an idea in there.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I just don't think the delivery was there. It wasn't interesting enough to keep you engaged, or for me, wasn't interesting enough to keep you engaged there. As I said, I think it would have been better as a play than it was as a film, and it can be done. I mean, Ghost Stories is a perfect example of a great play that they adapted into a great movie. But you can't just literally take the same screenplay and just go, right, that's a film now. You have to change it because film is a different thing. It's a completely
Yeah,
different like environment, and you have to tell the story in a different way.
yeah, it's slow, very slow, very slow, and there's not enough variety in the scenes. Like if you don't include the car or drone shots, the
Mm.
first there's maybe four scenes in the first 45 minutes, and nothing really happens in them apart from talking, which is oh, who's the bloke who did like Midnight Mass and all the great horror stuff?
Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan, yeah, he does a lot of that, but then his stuff is really interesting to look at, and
Yeah.
his monologues and stuff are engaging. You kind of get drawn
Hmm.
into them. This doesn't have any of that. It's not visually drawing you in.
No, because he does the both. It is quite wordy generally, Flanagan stuff, but also the underlying concept is usually really intriguing, and
Mm,
each individual monologue builds into that. It's building the lore as you go, and you're more interested, and it kind of gives you that payoff, even when some of the episodes might be a little long or drag. Because
mm.
if you're going 10 episodes with anything, there's going to be a little filler in it.
Yeah, so the
But
idea's there, and I think yeah, it's something to build on.
that Flanagan could have done this justice. That could have been an interesting thing. I
Mm,
just don't feel, and it's his first movie, so fair play to him. I don't feel it's quite there. It wasn't really for me. It, if it hadn't been that I was reviewing this review and I just found it on Amazon, I wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes. I'd have just fuck that, skip out. It,
yeah.
it's nothing against him. It just didn't engage me. I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't feel like I had to.
Mm. So Joshua Morgan is well, this was released last year, so he's 18 when he directed it, and 17 when he
Yeah,
wrote it.
fair play.
Yeah, which was a thing I got sent through an email. So it that's why it might sound a bit like a teenager's diary at some point.
Yeah, it makes more sense now knowing that.
Mm.
Yeah, because when I was 18, I was writing some really self-indulgent wank as well. So, and this is way above anything I ever put down on paper at that age. So good, well done.
So that'll be on the poster next to reminiscent of early Stephen King.
I've also written a load of self-indulgent wank at that age. It does make much more sense with that opening monologue now as well. That said, I think Stephen King was like 18 or 19 when he wrote Carrie. So,
Yeah. Oh,
and this ain't no Carrie.
It's a fair enough start, I guess. But
Yeah, it's not terrible.
mm,
I think anyone setting him up with reminiscent of early Stephen King is setting you up to fail, though.
yeah, I think your assessment was probably a little bit more accurate. Sorry, Joshua. It's kind of yeah,
It's a good first crack,
yeah,
and it's certainly better than anything I've ever done.
it's true. Where's your film?
But I
Where's
think
our
you've got
films?
it. You've got it. It's called Second Rope Drop Kick of Doom.
Put that on the YouTube video.
That was anything in this film was a better performance than that. To be fair, so
Yeah. Okay. Where can we find you online?
yeah, no, you can't really. It's
Not on
still
Twitter anymore.
still sort of lurking occasionally and saying horrible things to Conservative MPs and on Blue Sky. That's about it. Captain J Spaulding on both platforms if you want to hear inane bollocks occasionally without any regularity. Just when I'm pissed and annoyed generally.
Most nights.
Most nights, yeah. Especially at the moment.
And for myself, totalclockzone.com for stuff of mine. And we'll get out of here and attempt a 2-minute spoiler zone.
Okay, you can go first.
Yes, the audio will be all over the place because I kept having to move the mic because Woody kept trying to hit it with his ass.
Well, I think that and the fact that the internet kept dying as well. So you've got some editing ahead of you.
2 minute spoiler zone will commence shortly. If you're still listening and you get the film spoiled for you, it's your own fault. So it is a cult, and they're putting the adults into kids' bodies via magic.
Well, they're cloning them
Like cloning
because the
them?
adults are still around. Yeah.
Are they just not putting them into the bodies somehow? Because where are they getting the
Well, they're still
bodies?
operating it. The parents are still there, and they've got kids' versions of them, so they're still operating. So I think they've somehow satanically cloning them so
So,
that they can work out their issues. I guess
so
it's
it's a
a
bit.
weird satanic therapy, basically.
Yeah, I think that's the other problem. I didn't quite understand what they were doing. With they getting the kids like from other people?
Yeah, that's not explained,
'Cause it's a
but
bit
they
like
do pull out hair and presumably jizz. So because all magic needs both of those things. They don't show the semen extraction, obviously, but that would be a different film. But they do pluck out the hair. They do that bit.
mm,
So I'm guessing it's like basically like little voodoo kids. I don't know. It doesn't make fucking sense. This movie's shit. It's got a couple of ideas and it's very disjointed and it doesn't know how to connect them together. Because
I'm
he's a
doing.
kid.
I'm doing these shows with people and they're like, oh, gotta be nice about the film. Gotta be nice. Gotta find good things. Nah, shit.
In the 2 minute spoiler, I'm allowed to go fuck yourself. Don't watch it. I'll spoil it for the director as well. It just isn't explained very well. They don't know what they're trying to do with it. It could have been interesting. There's some interesting ideas, but it's just not. It's basically this. He's talking about his therapy. He's clearly gone through therapy. There's a lot of therapy speak in it.
Yeah, it's a bit get outy as well. But
Yeah,
like
if that
the old
went
black
very
folks.
clearly. And as a British person, we don't do therapy. We sit on our feelings and let them fester like a real man until they eventually cause us to have a heart attack in our mid 40s.
Which we'll be having shortly.